February, you made a public claim that the Epstein client list was, quote, sitting on my desk right now for review, end of quote. You then produced already public information and no client list at a major media event hosted at the White House. Attorney General Bondi, why did you publicly claim to have the Epstein client list waiting for your review and then produce nothing relevant to that claim?
Senator Durbin, if you listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk along with the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files. And I said I had not yet reviewed it. And if you see our memo on Epstein, you will see, excuse me, our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo.
Okay, pause. Okay, so look, everybody knows how I feel about Pam Bondi. I am not a Pam Bondi fan. Pam Bondi absolutely fumbled the Epstein thing. And again, you are not going to be able to pull a clip from me today and then go back to a clip from me in February and be like, Graham Allen changes that. No. Pam Bondi jacked that up bad. It was horrible. It was horrific. It was one of the worst PR blunders that she could possibly have done. You agree with that comment? Yes or no in the comment section. However, this is what I do truly believe. I've told you guys from the beginning, I trust Dan Bongino.
Yep.
I trust the people that I know to do the job, just like I trust Pete over at the Department of War, all this stuff. I don't trust the people that are giving them information, and or I don't trust the previous ones before them to give them the information that they have now. So if you go back and you listen to Dan's statement that made everybody mad when they did the Fox News hit, and he's like, you know, I've seen the files. There's nothing in there, right? Like that's what he really says. At no point did Dan Bongino say, there is no Epstein list. There never was an Epstein list. Jeffrey Epstein didn't do anything. You got to listen to what they're saying. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, I've seen what's in the files, and there's nothing in there. I think they got rid of the list a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm more convinced of it now more than anything in this world. Again, Cash, love Cash to death. I'm not saying that he made any of that up when he made statements like, I know where the bodies are buried. I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that. But by the time he got there, those things were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? And then also I have to remind people of this. And this is something that I think Dan wouldn't mind me sharing. You know, Dan said point blank, he's like, I took this role because I was asked by my country to take this role, and I did it. I put my hand on the Bible and I swore to defend the Constitution. I swore an oath to do this job, as it were. And he said, do people really think that I did that and swore on my faith and swore on the Bible before my country to turn right around and give them the middle finger and tell everybody on the internet everything that I know inside the skiff rooms, that you're not allowed to talk about what goes on in the skiff rooms and all of this kind of stuff? And I ask you that honest question. Like, is that really what you think was ever going to happen? I never thought that was what was going to happen.
Nope.
You really think the president of the if the president of the United States went on national TV today and gave an address to the nation and told you every single thing that he knows, every single secret, every single everything, there would be the purge in the streets.
That's
because here's the simple truth. This very famous movie quote: you can't handle the whole truth.
Yep.
I added the whole in there, but you can't handle the whole truth. You aren't ready for the whole truth. And these people made an oath. They made an oath to do it the right way. To do it the right way. If there's an investigation going on, they're not going to jump on TV. Dan Bongino is not Dan Bongino, the largest conservative voice in America right now. He is the deputy director of the FBI. Mm-hmm. They deal in facts, evidence, and closed cases. That's what they deal in. He does not owe any of us anything to go on TV and hold your hand, our hand, my hand, through the entire investigation. He just doesn't. He does not.
Yeah.
Just things to remember.
And just ask yourself a question and use common sense or good sense, because it's not common anymore. Why do you think the Democrats want the list so bad? Why do you think they're not dropping this thing like a dog with a bone? Because they know that the previous administration burned everything, got rid of everything, and they can keep hollering and shouting Epstein from the rooftops. They know that there's nothing there, but they're going to keep yelling and hollering about it. Come on, use common sense.
I just saw somebody post that oaths mean nothing. Well, that's sad.
Maybe to you.
If that's the way that you feel, well, then that's sad. What's the point? What's the point of having an oath about anything? What's the point of having contracts? What's the point of signing documents for anything? Oaths mean nothing, contractually or not. Like, yeah, I know I signed this note for this house, but it doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't really owe you that money. Like, what are you talking about? Oaths mean everything.
Maybe to you.
If your oath as a man, as a Christian, as a whatnot, doesn't mean anything to you, then we're already screwed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. This is not the show for you.
Here's the thing. If you support Dan Bongino, I want you to do two things. One, because he'll see this. I promise you he will. You need to hit that like button. I want you to blow up with the word Dan in the comment section right now. Because I had a meeting with Dan yesterday. Like I said, there was a lot of things that were between just us. But the one thing that I want to say is this man gave up everything.
Millions.
To be questioned by people that have no idea what they're talking about. And somebody very important within the administration said this to me last night, and it's oh so very true. If you don't have a TSCI clearance and you don't have a need to know in the room of these SCIFs and all these meetings, you don't know what you're talking about. You have the right, absolutely, to guess, to speculate, to have this and have that, but that's also not journalism, by the way. That's opinionism, and we have opinions on this show. I don't claim to be a journalist, but man, I more and more am trying to get more towards what the original journalistic integrity was supposed to be.
Yeah, what's that?
Where you report actual facts. Things
Yeah.
Things that you can actually verify.
I don't think America remembers that.
And I saw what they did to Pete on a daily basis because I was part of that. I was part of like trying to fight off the wolves in that regard. And again, here is the simple truth, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have the clearances and you're not in the room, you need both those things. You can't just say, well, I got it because somebody's going to be there. I got a federal job. I got a TSCI and I don't know nothing because you're not in the room, dummy. You're not in the position to do it. There comes a little bit of, we voted for these people to get in there. Dan's been in there since late February. And look at everything that's going on. I guess there's just a little bit of, and I will take the blame on this. I guess I didn't understand how delusional of a perception people had that just on day one,
come on, man.
Like all these people were going to be thrown under the jail for the rest of their lives. I mean, no matter how evil or corrupt they may be, Comey's supposed to be arraigned today. But he still will have his time in court. Like this is the way that it goes. And so, you can't pick and choose who gets their rights and who doesn't, no matter how terrible they may be. Anyway, I don't want to reveal too much because like I said, it was a private conversation between me and Dan, but I will say this, guys, he's giving you everything. The man has lost 20 pounds easy and not in a good way. Like he ain't eating. He's working his butt off. Yeah, I mean, Dan Bongino, and I'll say this again, and then I'll move on. And because I know we got to talk about Candace and stuff, you need to hit that like button. You need to hit the share button. You need to hear me, and you need to hear me clearly. Dan Bongino is a patriot. He's a warrior.
100%.
Everything for many people to turn their back on him like that. Because he's not doing it the way that they would have him do. But you also don't understand how the FBI works. You know what I'm saying? And so same thing with Pete. People get mad at Pete. People get this, that. You got no clue what you're talking about. None. Zero. Nothing. Nada. Zip. You either trust the people that we put in, or why are we even voting in the first place? And that's what I'll say about that. We haven't even made it through a year, guys, and we have
Yeah.
an entire fracture happening in our base.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they want. And I'll get into that here in a minute. I really will. But if you agree with that, I want you to comment Dan in the chat. But we got to go full